What's up, degenerates? Welcome back to Sorry Mom and Dad, where we're here to serve you more good-ass lychee tea. Or, as we like to say, lychee sake. The bottle's done because we drank before this. But cheers. And we are back with hopefully better audio on this third attempt of ours. So thanks for bearing with us for our first 2 episodes. We hopefully have everything like a lot more better now. So hopefully this audio turns out like better.
I got a pop filter.
You guys have sent us so much love through DMs and sending us videos of you guys having your watch parties, and it warms our hearts so much. So it's Abby here with
Jacqueline
and Megan.
And we're going to start off with what the fuck has been up with us this past 4th of July weekend. And just a disclaimer, we do film our episodes a week in advance before we release it. So a lot of our like weekly like updates are going to be a week behind. But if you follow us on our Instagrams, then you can see like a live update of our lives. So yeah, you start off first, Megan.
Cool. Per usual, I didn't really do much. Went to like a pretty like adult July 4th barbecue party where we ate vegan food and drank what was it? Bellinis?
We drank these delicious
Yes,
Bellinis.
They were delicious. Like everything was homemade. That was awesome. But other than that, I just worked pretty much till past midnight every night since last Friday. And just been, getting my consistent dick.
Hey, you go,
That's
girl.
what matters, guys.
Must be nice.
Well, for my week, I went to the beach for 4th of July weekend.
Which beach?
I think we went to Venice Beach.
This is my favorite.
And then, we drank some alcohol, got a little drunk. I lost my wallet. So here's the thing. I have 2 wallets. One wallet where it's like my important stuff, like ID and all that stuff. And then the second wallet is where it's like cash and gift cards. So I lost that one. I didn't even know I lost it until a cop DMs me on Instagram. And he's like, hey, I found your wallet. It's at the police station, blah, 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 blah.
The cop DM'd you?
Yeah, I don't even know how
Instagram?
the cop found my Instagram, because the weird thing is that wallet does not have my ID in it. It does not have a picture of me in it. It does have my full name in it, but then my Instagram doesn't have my full name. So I don't even know how he found me and let alone like knew what I looked like. Either way, so it's at the police station. I have to go pick it up. While I go to the police station to pick it up, there the detective like is trying to get my number as I am picking up my wallet, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, me and the law enforcement like are having a bond this 4th of July weekend or something.
At least he could put you in handcuffs.
Oh,
real ones.
Yeah, he can. But yeah, that's about it. That was, the funny thing he said was a little insight as to how old he is. He looked at the paper with all my info, and he saw like my like birth date, and he was like, oh my god, you were born when I joined the force. So
Sugar daddy.
That was basically my 4th of July weekend.
Shouldn't he just know that he's too old for you if he says that comment?
Yeah, some people not be knowing. I don't know.
Interesting.
What about you, Abby?
So this was my first weekend sober, not going out for the first time in I think over 2 months, because I was editing the fuck out of our last podcast.
Oh yes.
So thank you, Abby.
Our hard worker.
I felt like a changed woman after being sober for a weekend on 4th of July weekend. So I was like, out of all the weekends for me to be sober, amazing. And my birth control was making me fucking crazy. Like, I'm bloated. I can't stop eating hamburgers because so if you guys don't know, I have not had the ability to eat red meat in 6 years. And so randomly my stomach has just been accustomed to eating red meat again. So I had In-N-Out for the first time, and I had a Big Mac for the first time in over 5 years. So it's my life has changed.
So the whole time you lived here, you never tried In-N-Out?
I've never had In-N-Out. I haven't even had Korean barbecue before. Like, I still haven't had Korean barbecue. I still haven't had it. So we should all go.
Sponsor us.
Any Korean barbecue places listening in.
And I actually tried out this whole sugar daddy thing.
Ooh.
And because I looked at my bank account and I was like, damn, I kind of need help right now.
I feel that.
And so I've been talking to these two potential sugar daddies. And last night, one of them wanted to talk on the phone with me. So I called my cousin and she was on FaceTime with me in the background. I was like, can you please stay on in the background while I talk to this potential sugar daddy? And so I was talking to him. He's like, so what can I help you with? And I was like, well, I need my rent paid and my car insurance paid. And I told him how much it was. And he was like, oh my God, that's so doable. A beautiful woman like you shouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to feel enslaved by the workforce. And I was like, oh my God, you get me. And so he was like, you sound so beautiful. You're Filipina. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. And so he was like, so when can we meet and like discuss how I can pay you? And I was like, well, I mean, we can talk about like what we're looking for. And so I told him that I wanted to be strictly platonic. I did not want like a relationship. I'm not looking for like anything like, you know, sexual, because that's kind of gross. And he asked me if I was a virgin. And because he was like, I know that Filipinas are traditionally like, you know, they save themselves for marriage. And I told him, I was like, oh my God, sir, you are so right. Like, I am a virgin. I am saving myself for marriage because I did not want him to like
You're
F
so
me.
full of shit, dude.
Shut up. And so I told him I've been saving myself for marriage. And he said, I wanted to fuck you. And
Well, damn.
And I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do that because of my values. And he said, well, I respect that, so can you call me when you're married?
Bitch.
Wait. Okay, I don't think it works like that.
And then he told me to have a great night, and then he hung up.
What the? Horny old men. Holy.
We think we're playing these old men, but really they're just
playing
playing
us
us.
because we don't have their money. And now I still have to keep paying my rent.
Goes to work angrily.
Well, that was a fun sugar daddy journey. I think we've all tried it and
Yeah.
just can't go through with
I
it.
can't go through with it. I feel like my dignity is just...
I don't have enough daddy problems.
Also, can we just say that we're so happy that we've inspired a lot of people with our podcast lately?
Yo, I have had one of my best friends call us on July 4th night. She was like super drunk and she was like, because of your podcast, I want to be a hoe now. And she's not a hoe. Like, she's probably had sex literally a handful of times. But she's never been a hoe. But she's now going after it. This guy, like, she wanted to hook up with him. She said, yeah, she was like, oh, let's go they were making out, and people like threw condoms at them, and they went back to her place and they started fooling around or something. And then he was like, yeah, I want to take you out, like I want to get to know you. And she was like, in her head, I guess she was like, I just want the dick.
We're inspiring the hoe revolution.
And
I am so
I'm
proud.
really proud.
I'm so proud. See, that's what being a degenerate is all about,
That's what
ladies.
it's all about.
And gentlemen as well.
But let's talk about a July 4th, that party that we went to.
Oh yeah, Megan, that party that we went to, that was
We thought it was going to
weird.
be like a cool ass party because this house that we went to was like huge. It was in the hills. Like, it was like a party house.
But it kind of looked like a haunted cabin.
Yeah,
like
we
from the
kind of
horror
got lost
movies.
getting up there.
It was pretty
Haunted
scary.
cabin.
Yeah, no, like it looked like the
The last house on the left.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
because
that's
there
what
was like a
it was. The
swing.
last house on the left.
There was like a swing, like just a single swing hanging off the branch of a tree, and
Oh my
like
god, that's
In
scary.
the front yard.
yeah. So it was me, Michelle, our friend Michelle, and Megan. We all went to this party, and it was just like a kickback, and we somehow ended up in the hot tub. I don't know how. I think Michelle wanted to swim or something.
Yeah, she had her bathing suit on. I mean, the hot tub was like steaming and like there was nothing else to do, so it looked very enticing.
Yeah, I was on my period, so I didn't really get
Thanks for
into
that.
the pool.
we're all open here.
Just letting you know.
But she was nice enough to not get. You got in the pool. What the fuck?
I did end up getting in the pool because when I went to go pee, I stopped bleeding. So I was like, okay, I'll get in
Okay.
the pool.
But then we decided, like, I took off my jeans, but I had underwear on that, like, covered more of my butt than Michelle's bikini did. So we got in, and then we asked the guy to take pictures for us. And, like, he was taking pictures and then started reaching out and grabbing ass.
What the?
Yeah, and then the other guy...
The other guy was just so fucking thirsty, dude.
Italian. No, so thirsty. I've never seen such thirst.
Wait, how many
disgusting.
people were at this party?
There was like a handful. It was like 15 people.
Probably. It was like different. There's a bunch of girls. And,
Yeah.
like,
So he was
3
being
or
like
4
that
guys.
when there was only 15.
No, he was only thirsty to me, Megan, and
Because
Michelle.
we're the Asians. He's like, I've never been with an Asian. How many
That
times have you
yellow
heard that?
fever.
Yeah. No, they just like want to know what it's like. They were like, they want to know if it's what they say is true.
Yeah, and then he was being so fucking thirsty, and Michelle told him that she had a boyfriend, and then like whenever he heard that, then he tried to pursue me.
Yeah, she's like, well, Abby, do you have a boyfriend? And then Abby's like, I'm talking to someone. And then he goes, Megan, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, oh my god.
Wait,
I'm
what?
talking
You
to
just
multiple
went through-
people, and I kept
yeah.
talking about how I was talking to multiple people, and that I'm not interested in adding any more people to my list of people that I'm talking to.
And he kept going like, there's so many beds. Like, you guys can stay here. And I was like, no.
It was so disgusting.
No. I'd rather suck my own dick.
I don't even have one, but I'll suck my
Yeah,
own
I'd rather
dick.
do something impossible. But he was just so thirsty, and he kept going like at every one of us, like hoping that the more like hits he took, like the more our guard would come down and we'd finally fuck him or something.
It's just like, honestly, he was an attractive man. If he just wasn't that thirsty, probably he could have gotten it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But he was just trying so
Looks aren't everything, guys.
hard.
Looks aren't everything.
Yeah,
His
don't be
personality.
thirsty because it just makes you look desperate.
He just kept talking about how he was Italian. I'm like, dude, we get it. You're Italian. We get it. We fucking get it. I was like, can you make fettuccine Alfredo? And he was like, that's not Italian.
Really?
He's like, Alfredo is not Italian.
Is it really? Is it not?
No. He's like, what is the
didn't fucking
Alfredo?
Wait, if anyone's Italian, please. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Can you confirm?
you literally didn't know.
But
I
you know what? I actually forgot. Earlier this week, actually a couple of days ago, my ex from freshman year of high school, like the Cholo gang banger one from Oak Cliff, Dallas, DM'd me on Instagram and replying to my story. Like, what? You're just gonna come back into my life after
Wait, what story was
10 plus years? It was like, I think it was like a meme that I posted, and then he like replied to it, and then I just didn't entertain it.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Nope, he follows me and his little brother.
Dude.
Ew.
It's been like 10 plus years. What was that, 2009?
Holy shit.
It's been 10 years.
Okay.
Holy.
What I don't understand is why exes try to come back into your life, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's just really fucking gross. And it's like once you already decide to cut ties, you just need to stay out of each other's lives.
Yeah.
That kind of rhymed a little bit, kind of.
I don't really believe in exes being friends. So
I don't
agree with
either.
that.
It's not going to work.
It's not.
I know we're going to get backlash for
You're just
people
gonna-
are like, my ex is my best friend. I'm like, no, you guys are so in
Hell
love
to
with
the
each other.
fuck no. Because if they were your fucking best friend, then y'all wouldn't have had all these fucking issues. You know what I'm saying? So,
Get them.
True, true.
We're gonna get some defensive people, but yeah, I pretty much only, like, in terms of exes, I've only had 3 actual relationships, and he was one of them. Let me tell you guys, the story of our relationship is just fucking weird. So he's from Oak Cliff, right, and which is the Compton of Dallas, and then I lived in Plano, which like is the Beverly Hills of Dallas. How we got to know each other? Mutual friend. My friend was like dating this guy who worked in the kitchen of her restaurant that she was working at, and his best friend was this guy, and so they hooked us up. And me being like the sheltered, like I live in Plano, like wannabe bad girl, I was like, oh my god, like you're such a bad boy.
Like, let me save you.
let me be with you. And that's the guy I lost my virginity to.
a gangbanger.
But yeah, so he ended up like he did so many drugs, and he did like hardcore. I don't know, you guys ever heard of cheese? Dude, it's called
Cheese is a drug.
No. It's the name for it. It's basically like all these over-the-counter drugs mushed together, like mixed with some crack.
There's like ibuprofen, Benadryl,
It's called like
acetaminophen.
ghetto. It's super ghetto. It's so ghetto.
So did you smoke it or snort it?
I don't know. I never saw him do it. I think he snorted it.
Have you seen it though?
I just heard about it. And then he would like always be super fucked up, ended up being like abusive and just like a really shitty person in general. I broke up with him and like he ended up going to jail.
What?
And he would write me letters from jail and he doesn't know how to spell.
There's no autocorrect.
There's no autocorrect. He's writing these handwritten letters and he's like writing to tell me that he got a girl pregnant. I still have the letter. So yeah, he ended up like getting this girl pregnant twice. and then like they date for a while and they were like together. I can't stop. Okay. They were together for a while and then she DMs me or messaged me on Facebook one day and she was like, hey, like, you know, his name was Smokey.
Smokey the gangbanger.
Yeah, so that's not his real name, obviously. But he's like, hey, so Smokey, like, always tells me how good of a girlfriend you are and how much you did for him. You would always cook and clean for him. I was like, I was 16. I didn't do shit for him. Like, what did I cook? With what house? In the kitchen that my parents live at? Like, no, I didn't do any of that. So he would, like, use me against her to be like, you're a shitty girlfriend or whatever. He ended up, like, abusing her. And then I basically was like, girl, leave his ass. Like, with your kid, take your kids and run. So that's what she did. And now here we are 10 years later in my DMs. Oh. So that's the story of my first like real relationship. So if y'all wonder why I'm so fucked up,
no, it sounds like you dodged a bullet.
Oh no. Like you ever like break up with someone, you're like, thank God he did not get me pregnant.
Yes. Oh my God. You literally could have been that girl.
Yeah. And then my like second ex was just your typical fuckboy, like dangly cross earrings, all that stuff. I mean, that wasn't much. But the third, I think, was like my actual like relationship where I learned how to be like in love with someone, I guess. You know? So that one was probably like the most traumatic in terms of like emotions. The first one was funny. Like the story's funny to tell, but the third one's kind of one of those things where like it's a little bit to tell.
Damn.
It's just like when you're on a roller coaster ride, when you care about someone that much and when you see a person that much every day and they become like your everything for like almost 2 years or more, you know, like I think, and then especially when they cheat on you, because all my exes cheated.
I feel that.
Because men ain't shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we just moved too fast and we were young and it was just like freshman year of college, so it didn't work out. And yeah,
now we here.
That's the story of my exes, really. What about you guys?
And you went on a roller coaster with all your exes.
Yeah, that's why I've been single for the last 6 years, guys.
Yeah, mine, like, I also had an abusive relationship, but, yeah, I only had one, like, really serious, like, boyfriend, and it was in freshman year of college, and then, it was crazy. Like, he was very controlling in that back then I went to UCR my first year, so, he was, like, driving to come see me from my hometown, and then, he would have me, like, Snapchat my outfits to him when I went to class, because he wanted to see if it was too revealing to, like, other people. And I was, like, dumb back then, so I did it, but then now I think back, I'm like, you dumb bitch, what were you doing? But, you know, there's that. And also, he also cheated on me.
Man, I shit.
And that one was crazy, was because he cheated on me with a girl that also had a boyfriend. And that boyfriend DM'd me on Instagram like while I was on vacation in Taiwan, so I had no like cell service, I can't call people and stuff like that. He didn't even DM it right away. He started by like leaving comments under my pictures saying like, your boyfriend is a dog, like you should watch out. And then I sent that to my boyfriend and I was like, what is this? And he was like, I have no idea what that is. And then the guy told me everything, and then I was like, what the fuck? And then I sent all the screenshots to him, and then I blocked him. And then he was calling me the whole 2 weeks I was on vacation, and it sucked because it was at the start of my 2-week vacation.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You just ruined your fucking trip.
Yeah, it ruined my entire trip. So, you know, there was that. And I think I asked him, like, what weekend it was where he cheated. And he was like, oh, no, we were on a break.
Okay, Ross.
Yeah. Exactly like Ross. And then I go, and I'm like, no, tell me what weekend it was. And then he eventually told me what weekend. I went back, because I'm crazy. I went back in our text messages to that day of that weekend, and I fucking saw it. He like lied to me and told me that he went to sleep early, when really he went out that night to downtown LA and went drinking with a girl.
Damn.
You fucking pig, piece of shit, asshole, motherfucker.
So that's my little story.
You know, we always say, like, girls are crazy or whatever, but there's a reason.
Yeah, like, I was so chill in the beginning. I feel like he made me crazy.
Oh, no, I totally feel that. That's
There's a
how mine
reason
was.
why we have trust issues sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I used to trust people, like, super easily. Now I have, like, trust issues, like, out the fucking door. But, you know, we're over it now. Now I'm just emotionally removed from all people. And that's that.
Damaged.
I mean, I've only had 3 exes. First one, we dated in high school. Dated for 6 months. He cheated on me 3 times in 6 months. It was like
He was busy.
One time every 2 months, you know. And then he left me for the last girl. Like, actually dated, and then she ended up abusing him physically. So, you know, shit happens. Karma. But I mean, not saying that abuse is okay, but it's not. My second...
You should get your ass whooped sometimes.
I guess he deserved to get his ass whooped just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Honestly, he cheated on me 3 times, so fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
My second ex, he was just a super horny Chinese man.
You know.
He would get mad at me because I didn't want to suck his dick.
Mad at you.
Yeah, he'd be like, why don't you want to suck my dick? And I'm
Why
like,
didn't you want to? Why didn't you want to?
dude.
Shit is tiring sometimes.
No, it was so small.
Oh, that.
Yikes.
Yeah, it didn't really satisfy me, so I didn't really want to have sex with him. But he always wanted to have sex.
That's good. Womp, womp, womp.
And then my third recent ex, we dated for 3 years. He was just a very vanilla person. You could just you could describe it as like dating a brick wall.
Brick wall.
For 3 years. Like, no emotions.
So you just talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Those 3 years.
There's like no excitement. Like.
Mm-hmm. And this was the same guy that would say nice to her.
Oh yeah,
nudes.
when I
fuck
sent
that.
him like an ass pic, he'd just be like, "Nice pic."
Sends you the thumbs up emoji.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. I asked him to slap my ass one time. Or no, a lot of times I'd ask him to slap my ass, and he'd slap it, and he'd be like, "Did I hurt you? Are you okay?" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, bitch, harder.
And then when I asked him to slap
Much
me harder, it was softer. I'm like, why do y'all do this? Like, come on. And so, I mean, your girl's single now, so.
I think it's because you're the size of 5 Subway sandwiches.
I am the size of 5
one
Subway
bite.
sandwiches.
With one bite off.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I think because like you're more petite and
so
smaller.
Guys
they
think that you can't
Yeah.
handle being like...
If I ask them to do something, why can't they just do it?
Like, nice guys aren't gonna go after me because I'm scary. I look like I could literally destroy them. But, like, you, they go after because they're like, oh, like, she's so sweet. Like, I like her petite. And then you're like, slap me.
Choke me.
Whereas I'm over here like, yeah.
But anyways, exes stay exes for a motherfucking reason. And you know what? Like, breakups, in reality, they are never easy. But there's not really ever a right time to break up. It's just like once you know that you don't see someone in your future, like, you know, it's time to break up. And like someone will get hurt in the end. Like that is just unavoidable. But you just have to let that fucking band-aid rip, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And also stop wasting the other person's time, because if you can't give them the same love and affection or whatever anymore, you know, it's kind of fucked up. Stop wasting people's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we getting old out here.
Remember that trend, like waste her time, waste his time, 2018,
2018.
whatever? We're putting that shit to bed, okay? There's no more time for games. But anyway, have you guys ever actually had a really bad breakup?
Yes.
Megan.
Let's say, like, my most recent, like, most serious boyfriend, we had, like, broken up before, and that was already, like, horrible. Like, I cried myself to sleep every night and woke up crying. But then we got back together, and we broke up again. But this one was bad. Like, we got in a fight, but he was having a party at his house. And there was, like, other friends, like, our mutual friends going there. But I was like, well, I don't feel like partying. I'm not going to go over there. So I didn't go. And, oh, by the way, he was, like, living at my place at this time. We were, like, living in our place in college and stuff. And I see on the next morning, someone's, like, Snapchatting, like, the room and kind of pans the room. And you know how when you date someone long enough, you can recognize literally their foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened. She pans the room, and I see this girl laying on top of him, and it passed. What? And they were cuddling. And I texted him so fast, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is laying on you? Like, I went crazy, like, that shit. And he answers, and the only thing he says is, we didn't have sex.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
And since he was living me at the time, I was like, I'm literally going to set all of your shit on fire. Like, I was so mad.
Torching it.
I was so mad. And his sister, we're friends. Like, his sister was at my house. And she was looking like, she was like, I don't know what to do. I was, like, going on a rampage. But then I ended up, like, collecting myself, folding all of that shit nicely, putting it on the side, and he, like, ended up picking up. And I think that probably was, like, the worst breakup, because it was just, like, you know, when you're, like, so hurt, you feel like you can do literally anything, but then you become a reasonable person and you draw that shit back, but you're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna fold your shit nicely, because that's when you know they're done. Like, when they take the time to, like, fold each article of clothing and put it to the side, they're done.
Damn. That's intense. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well,
men ain't shit.
My worst breakup story, I don't know what the worst would be, but I guess I would just say that, like, all my breakups have just been weird, because my second ex, when we broke up, we still kind of continued to talk because we had a long distance relationship. I was in Houston at the time, and he lived in LA because he went to school in LA. And whenever he'd come back to visit Houston, we'd, like, text each other. We'd be like, what are you doing? I'm back in town. So that was my mistake in, like, agreeing to see him, and then we just end up hooking up again, you know? And that just brought back, like, kind of, like, weird feels, especially since we would tell each other, like, that we were talking and, like, you know, we've hooked up with other people. And it made me feel kind of weird. And then I just continued to, like, I continued to see him multiple times. And I guess at one point I just realized that I shouldn't be doing that shit anymore. But
we've all
good that you realized it.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and it was, like, over a course of, like, a good, like, 4 or 5 months that we would be doing that.
Yeah.
And then with my last ex, it was just weird because we were supposed to have closure, I think, a day or two after he broke up with me. And he just never gave me closure because he fell asleep. Or it just, like, took too long. I completely forgot. But, you know, that's when I realized that, you know, he really didn't give a shit about me. So, I mean, that made me realize that I don't believe in the idea of closure because it's just, once it's over, it's just over. What is there more to discuss? You know, like, it's over. Because if you try to have that closure, you're just going to end up reconnecting again, and then you're just going to question every decision that you made. It's like, should I have broken up with her or him? And it's like, you made that decision for a reason. So don't have closure. If it's over, it's fucking over. Don't be friends with your fucking exes. Get some new dick in your life and enjoy it.
That was like that tweet. It's like, oh, before you say you're just talking to your ex for closure, ask yourself why you shaved your pussy.
Oh my god.
Relatable.
Which is true.
Honestly. Yeah. Well, I think the lowest point is when you're looking for closure, but you're literally just like, please get back together. And I think that's, me as a prideful person, for me to do that, like, that's like, I would never put myself to that level again. Like, honestly, if I have to beg for you to come back, it's like, no, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. Because, like, that kind of goes to, like, my worst breakup. It goes with, like, closure and all this stuff. So, basically, my worst breakup is kind of like yours, where we were living together. And then he moved in with me while I was at, like, USC. And then he wasn't paying for rent. So, he was living with me for free. So, there's that. We had already started fighting a lot towards the end. It was kind of towards like the thing where it's on and off and you're like arguing and then you're having makeup sex and stuff like that, right? So it was like that stage. But then this day, it was just like the worst. Like, it was the last. I couldn't do it anymore. I think he came over to try and like talk and hang out and stuff, but something just went wrong, and then we ended up arguing. And then the last thing he ever said to me in person was, the only thing I'm thankful for was for living here, bitch. And then after he said that, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Because, like, also when I say abusive, he was also, like, physically abusive. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that I was, like, the most perfect girlfriend in the whole world. Like, I had my faults, too. But, like, at one point, you need to, like, kind of control your anger issues. Because he had anger issues. That's what it was. So, that's basically what happened. After that, I was like, I'm done. And then he ended up leaving, but he still had his, like, some of his stuff at my place. So I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna, like, try and, like, be nice and give it back to him. Because he had thought that was just an argument. And I was like, what? You think you can still keep talking to me that way? Like, no, I am done. And then he was like, no, like, that was just an argument. Like, you owe it to me to talk to me, blah, 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 blah. Like, you owe it to me at least to bring me my stuff. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, fine, I want us to end on a good note, so I'll just bring you your stuff. So I go to his, like, we meet up in a, like, a middle spot, and then I go there, bring him his stuff. He doesn't respond. And then I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm here, I have your stuff. Doesn't respond for, like, literally, like, half an hour. Mm-hmm. And then finally he texts me, hey, Jacqueline, I just want to let you know, like, I don't want my stuff. This is the last message you'll ever get from me. I am done. So he made me go out there to drop off his stuff for him after I was already done. And then it was just for, like, good closure. Yeah, he just wanted the last word. And he took advantage of the fact that I was being nice. Yeah. And, like, he just did that. And I was like, after that, I drove back, like, crying, and I was like, I am never gonna let a boy like treat me like shit like that again, you know?
And that is
so,
how
yeah, that's
women
my
become
thing.
Hoes.
And also, yeah, don't go for closure, because that was what was happening with me and him, is like, we would break up a lot, but then it was like on and off, and then we would like hook up again, and then things get confusing. It's just like when you still have like the element of sex in there, like it complicates everything.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, goes back to the thing, like, ask yourself why you shaved your pussy when you're looking for closure.
Bottom line, closure is out of the fucking question. Once you dump them, once you get dumped, don't fucking talk to them again. Delete all your damn photos. Yes. Mm-hmm. You know?
It also helps if you, like, delete social media.
Yeah. Immediate, like, I usually delete it off of, like, my photo album, but I'm a pack rat for just memories, so I keep them on, like, a hard drive somewhere far away where I can't see them every day. But I delete them off, like, social media, photo albums, stuff like that. It's just, like, better to just separate it, because until you heal, like, you need to just separate them from your life completely, because
you have to cut them off.
Yeah, and for you to see what they're doing in their life, it doesn't help you at all.
Yeah, that's how you move on. If you keep seeing them on your feed on social media every day, technology makes it so hard for us to get over someone because you're constantly exposed to their lives. You see their Snapchat stories, you see their Instagram stories, you see their Instagram posts, their Facebook posts, their fucking families posts. Like, like you're still connected with them in a way online. Like, you have to just completely cleanse yourself of their face.
Yo, let me actually, like, going off of that, the social media thing, like, my ex, I would see him, like, and the girl he cheated on me with, they got together, and they had, so for, I think his birthday or something, I did this cute thing where, like, there was a bunch of balloons in his room, and each string hung, like, a Polaroid of, like, cute pictures or something, like, stuff like that. So then I see on social media on, like, Valentine's Day, he did that for her.
Ugh.
Yeah. And not only that, but they had their relationship so public and stuff, but he would still hit me up and be like, do you want to come over? And I'm like, dude, if I didn't hate this bitch, I would tell her.
No, my ex did that too a little bit.
But I hated her.
It was like a thing. It was like every 2 months he would call again, and then that's how we would get back together. But this time I didn't answer it, and that was it.
Yeah, can you believe it? He tried to cheat on me. Well, he cheated on me with a girl, and
It's the
tried to cheat
same
on her
idea.
with me. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Honestly, he's getting married in 5 days.
Oh my god.
That's how life works, guys.
Is he getting married to the girl that he cheated on you with?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's a new
no.
girl?
Yeah, totally different girl.
Oh,
Okay. Well, sucks to be her.
I hope their relationship is very happy and he's a changed
we
person.
hope he's
but
learned.
He came from a rough
No,
path.
because once a cheater, always a fucking cheater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately. That's all about our exes and stuff. But what about moving on, Like, how do you guys move on from those?
So my last relationship, I got over it in 3 days. Megan, you were there for it all. That's when Megan and I started to get really close.
Yeah, she called me one day and was like, hey, we broke up, can you come over? And I'm not, super, comforting, but, I just went over and I, held her hand while she cried.
I cried
And I
for
was
2 days in my apartment.
I was like, what do I do? What do I do?
I was so depressed. I called my boss at 11 p.m. after I got dumped, and I was like, hey, I just got dumped. I have really puffy eyes. I don't think I can come into the office for the next 2 days. And he was just like, oh no, it's fine. I understand. I was like, thanks.
What a
So
chill
then-
boss.
And then after I would finish my work from home, Megan and I would go to the bar.
Oh yeah, and she got free drinks. Not only free drinks, but a free dessert too. Because
I
she
got
was
free
crying
drinks and free dessert
at
for
the bar.
crying at the bar.
Yup, that's the secret, guys. That's the secret.
I was crying so much at the bar, and I was just like, no one in this life without.
Wait, what did they ask you? How
Yeah,
did they
they
buy
didn't-
it for you?
Oh no, the bartender.
The bartender. No, he was like, I don't like when people cry at my bar. Here's some free shit.
So he just gave me free shit.
Dude,
I
I'm
was
just gonna go to a bar and cry now.
No, that's the key.
let's just all go to the bar and start crying.
Yeah. Let's...
But then after that, Abby dragged me to Coachella.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
ended up going to Coachella. Kind of got my serotonin up in a way, and
Yeah,
after that weekend, I was like, "Who that?"
Yeah, she got over him real quick.
I literally got over my ex in less than a week.
Yeah.
Because I ended up finding a new guy a week later.
Oh my god.
Hey.
It's the fuck boy. The fuck boy.
That's right. And with my second ex, it's kind of fucked up because I was really close with this one guy, and when you're on the verge of kind of breaking up with someone, you kind of have someone just ready on the side to just
I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking loyal.
Tag team in.
no.
Hey.
I think I was just kind of wild and out as a college kid, and I had this guy kind of just on the side, ready, because I had planned this breakup with my second ex, and so the day that he came over, we had a fancy dinner, and then he went over to my apartment after dinner, and I said, I think we should break up. And then we mutually called it off. It was a good breakup. And then when he left, I called my friend and I was like, hey, you want to come over? And then we hooked up that night.
Damn.
Literally an hour after my breakup.
Abby moves fast.
I know. You literally like tag team them in.
That ain't the first time. But anyways, that's my story on my... Oh, and whenever I move on from my exes, I like to do like a purge of social media, as in I block you off everything, I delete all our photos. Yeah, that's how I do it. That's why I get over my exes real fast, is because I don't see your face anywhere. Yeah. And that's what helps me, and it helps a lot of my friends. And that's the way it should be. If you still follow your ex on social media, you a pussy.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You a pussy, and you have problems
We're gonna
moving
get
on,
so
dude.
much hate for this. Like,
I'm sorry, but this is reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we all live in denial about certain things, but it's like this is the real way to get over shit.
yeah.
Because you still think about them. You know who you are.
Well, you gotta look out for yourself. Like, why put yourself through the pain of like
Exactly.
seeing your ex move on to their new
Yeah,
relationship or whatever, and being like, you always feel that kind of like pang a little bit. Like, even if you're over them, whatever, but like, you'll still feel that. Just kind of like reminiscent of old times, you know, seeing someone that you loved with someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even being like petty or anything if you block them on everything. It's just like you're helping yourself get over
Look
it.
out for yourself.
Yeah. Because, what I did to get over it was not healthy in any way. I was like the summer after that, the relationship I just talked about, and that literally was my hot girl summer. Like 2 years ago. There was so much drugs and alcohol that summer. There was a lot of things. There was like an almost threesome that summer. There was so much stuff going down that summer. But that summer, like, what I did to get over it basically was I just kept myself busy. I just like went out with people like all the time. Like back then, like if someone asked me, they're like, "Oh, you want to go hang out?" I'm like, "Okay." And then now I'm like, I just want to stay home.
That's how.
But yeah, that helped me get over it a lot, because keeping yourself busy, you meet new people, you're out, you're doing stuff, you're not like constantly sitting at home and just being sad.
Right.
No, I can completely agree, because if it wasn't for my last breakup, I wouldn't have like hung out with all of you guys so much. I wouldn't have done all these things that I have done.
Well, yeah, I would go out with Abby when she was in a relationship, and it was long distance. So she would literally go to the bar, sit on the side, and like text. And we'd be like, that's why we weren't that close, because I was like, okay, like she's doing her own thing. And then like if he didn't respond, even though it was like 3 a.m. over there, she'd be like, he's not texting me back. And I was like, Abby, you're at a bar right now. Like, fuck. But whenever, I think anytime that any like relationship, or I'm talking to someone a little bit more seriously, like if we separate, break up, whatever, like I go straight for the bottle. Like,
that was literally me, Megan, remember?
yeah, it's just, I don't know, like numbing the pain, whatever. Like, it's just time to have fun. Like, especially I was in a relationship where like I wasn't allowed to have fun. Like, he was really against me going to raves and stuff, and I used to be like a huge like, I loved raves. I loved drugs. Took a lot of it. But I did a lot of those things, and like I stopped because of him, and he was like, drugs are bad. Drugs make you like stupid. Like, he didn't like that party side of me, and so I dropped all that. I ended up like neglecting a lot of my friendships. I lost one of my like really best friends because I just never talked to him.
Same.
And he was super jealous and controlling, and didn't like when I had guy friends.
Same.
Yep. And so I ended up losing a lot of like my old life because of that relationship. And I was in that for, so long. And so when I finally got out of it, like I went crazy, went back, but it wasn't the same, like at that time, at that point, like I had gotten so used to being like almost like, well, I didn't go to raves anymore. I don't really go anymore at all. Well, he ended up being like this huge raver.
They always do that.
When we broke up, that's how he met the fucking girl he's marrying. Y'all don't understand how mad I was when I found out he was doing drugs. I was like,
marrying his
motherfucker.
babe?
Yeah.
Oh my.
You know what's funny? Like, I usually don't like to hear about my ex, but like since him and I like have a lot of mutual friends, they like randomly tell me, they're like, "Oh, I saw your ex at this rave," and like he's been to like 5 raves already with like another girl, and I'm like, huh, interesting. You never wanted to go to a rave with me.
Yeah. Like,
I was like, that's so weird.
I went to Zed one day. He ignored me for 2 whole days. And we lived together. Yeah. I was
What
in
did
Zed.
you do? Like sleep opposite, like facing opposite?
Dude, I think I slept in the guest room.
Oh my god.
Or he slept in the guest room. I don't know.
No,
but-
that happened with my second ex too. Like he became a raver.
Dude,
I was like, why
what
do
the
all my exes
fuck?
become ravers?
Wait, I think you both told me a story where like you went to a rave and then your exes got mad at you.
Well, he
It's
got mad at
wretched.
me because I
Some
told him.
bullshit.
He got mad at me because I didn't tell him I was rolling until an hour later or something. And I was like, I'm sorry. But I told you anyways.
As you're rolling.
Yes.
But then when you
I'm
like
so-
when we got back together after breaking up the first time, like I found out he started doing like drugs and stuff, so we rolled together.
Oh.
And I was like, this is interesting. Like, he used to fucking like hate on me for doing this.
But I can understand that though. I used to be like a hypocrite when I dated my ex and I was against drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then when we broke up, I was the one that was like, give me all the drugs. I'm gonna try everything.
I guess that's how you just deal. But I mean, that guy made it so hard to move on because like I said, he would hit me up. Like even though he was in a relationship, he would like hit me up. And I think we ran into each other at the bar a lot because we were in the same city. We had the same group of friends. And so like he would see me with another guy and text me and be like, oh, he's cute. Like, but you know, you want to come over tonight? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he would do that every single time he would see me with another guy, even though we were not
Who
together.
gave you the right?
The audacity. The
The only thing men have.
The audacity.
That's a common theme within the men that we've had experiences with. All they have is the audacity.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, moving on, it took me like honestly years to get over that relationship, but eventually a bitch did it, and here we are.
Single bitches of LA.
I'm so proud of all of us. We have realized that there ain't no dick out there worth our time.
We realized our worth.
You know, it's like so funny that this is the episode we decided to drink to.
Oh no!
Drinking our sadness.
And I've been taking multiple Zyatol.
Girl, I've already finished
Oh,
2 cups and I fucking
Freaking,
chugged this fucking
I couldn't
Capriccio.
say anything because I was in the middle of the story, but like for our listeners, Abby was straight up popping open a bottle of Capriccio
And chugging that
while
shit.
Jack was like talking about some serious shit, and I was just looking at her like, whatever, you do it your thing.
I don't feel anything at all. But just a random funny little segue like I just wanted to talk about. So I was hooking up with this guy this past week, and like mid hookup he was like, Abby, I want you inside me.
You want your finger up his asshole?
Dude, no, and then like I was just down there, and then I stopped for a second. I looked at him and I was like, what did you say? You want me? He's like, wait, no, I just realized what I said. He's like, no, I wanted to say I want to be inside you. No, but the thing is, like, I've been holding that phrase against him for like the past week because it was so funny. Like, we were laughing so hard for a good 10 minutes, and I was like, you want me inside you, huh? I was like, do you want me to get my vibrator and just shove it up your ass?
Oh my god, some guys are into that.
He was like, no.
That might have been his subconscious.
I know, what if it was? And then you were like,
Get
what?
ready
And
for
he
it.
was like, oh,
They
never
call it
mind.
pegging, guys.
I told him, I was like, let me spread them cheeks for you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you get him pregnant.
Pregnant.
But yeah. Anyways, let's answer some great questions that we've gotten from our lovely degenerates.
This is my
Yes,
favorite
yes,
part.
Okay.
Honestly, it has become my favorite part. Okay, so we got one. Serious question, ladies. My boyfriend has been wanting to try shoving boba balls in my mouth while we make out. He's also interested in putting the boba balls in my mouth while I give him head. I'm not the type to shame any fetish or kink, but am I rude if I want to decline? Part of me wants to try it, but it's kind of embarrassing to think about doing.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. But
Boba balls.
putting a boba. Okay, wait. I understand.
Abby needs to process.
I understand, like, if you want to put boba balls in your mouth while you're giving.
Abby's
Like,
dying.
while you're giving
someone
head, like, okay, that's cool. I mean, people put ice cubes in their mouth when they give head and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But while you make out, I'm sorry, do you like
You just, like,
exchange the
ew.
Back and
balls?
forth.
Yeah, that just looks like you're like making out and like exchanging your like backwash.
I mean, that's what you're doing when you're making
no,
out.
but like with your like food.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
a
yeah, I
little,
don't like food particles
Yeah,
being exchanged.
no. Ew, if you made out with someone, like a piece of food
No.
came.
But
I was making out with this one guy, this one white guy, and he had like, I don't know if it was gum or a mint, but he put it in my mouth.
oh yeah, that's happened.
And I was
yeah,
like,
This
people
guy
have
forced
done
his gum into my mouth. Like I closed it when he was trying. I was like, "What are you doing?"
okay, but imagine boba balls. Just-
Not even minty.
yeah.
God.
I don't think it's like a fetish thing. I think he's just interested. He just wants to try it.
I feel like it's not rude to decline, but
Yeah.
you're saying a part of you wants to try it, so like
Yeah,
do
just
it.
do
and,
it.
and who are you embarrassed about? Don't tell anybody. What the fuck?
keep it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But let us know if you actually go through with it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd
actually
like to
DM
know
us.
his
We
experience.
may or may not announce it, but
Let us know if we should do it.
But if you think it's embarrassing, like I think a lot of people think that what they're doing is embarrassing. Like the first time you wanted to be choked, like
That was
slapping
embarrassing.
that was embarrassing. But like just try it if a part of you is interested. I don't think it's I don't think it's out of the
like the same
question.
Go do what feels right.
Yeah.
And not anyone has to know that you're doing it.
Yeah, just
know,
let
like-
the little bubble balls massage his bubble
Everyone
balls.
needs to explore a little bit. So. Dude, just imagine like shoving your whole mouth just like with boba balls and just like slowly just like spitting it out to like your partner's butthole. Like
What is that, like target practice? You're trying to make it in the hole.
Boba anal beads.
Oh my god, that just went in a huge turn.
So the second question. No, this is a story. Okay, so the story is the first time I used Tinder, I went on 2 dates in the same day. The first one was at a bow place somewhere in Houston. Oh, is it the one on Kirby? If it is, that's pretty good. I was wearing high heel sandals and a jumpsuit. When I met my date, he was at least 1 foot shorter than me with the heels on.
That's a whole subway.
No. He bought me lunch, though. That's all I really wanted. The second date that day, I met up with a guy at night. We had planned to smoke a bowl and watch a movie, but he just wanted to get laid. He eventually took me to a motel and got us a room. Right when he took off his pants, I saw a micro penis for the first time. That shit was so small. Like I had to grab it with my pinky up.
Wait, what?
We we didn't finish because it turned me off. Poor guy though. I'm sure someone out there loves small dick. Maybe.
Wait, I don't know if she's actually saying it's a micro penis.
Is it like a real micro penis or just a small dick?
You need to Google micro penis.
Because micro penis is like
Literally,
this
it's the
big.
pinky.
It's literally like a nub.
No.
It's like the penis that you were
It's
born
a giant
with.
clitoris.
Yeah, it literally is.
But if you can grab it with at least 4 fingers.
That's not that. There's some guys that have
Alright,
dicks
that might be a
size.
micro penis.
Dude, that's kind of sad.
Was it like that soft?
Wait, he
Damn.
might be, like, honestly, let's not shame little penis.
Yeah, you know.
As long as you can work it, doesn't matter
Yeah,
the size.
It's how you rock the boat.
Yeah.
And also, not every girl likes big dick.
Yeah,
I don't. Y'all know that.
we know that.
That's why she likes Hinge.
It's perfect for my fit. But honestly,
Jack on the other hand.
honestly though, props to you, girl, that you went on 2 Tinder dates in the same day.
I don't
So
have that
proud of
kind
you.
I don't have that kind of social.
I've been on 3 in one day before.
Damn.
How What, you went on one at 8 in the morning or something?
No,
Breakfast,
so
lunch,
it was like
dinner.
Yeah, breakfast.
so what happened was I went on an ice cream date in like the afternoon, and then afterwards I went over to this guy's place and he cooked me dinner, and then we hooked up and he kept getting soft. So then I went to another guy's place and then I effed him and then I slept there.
Abby, you just straight up were like, I can't do this, I'm going somewhere else?
Yeah.
Shameless.
The only thing Abby also has.
The
The audacity.
I am a certified fuck girl and I'm aware.
Yo, that's nasty.
But that was in 2015.
Damn.
Jellies.
I've had like 2 Tinder hangouts, like back to back, but that was it. I didn't fuck him though.
I don't have that type of energy, bro.
It was honestly kind of tiring. I had to like make sure the other one was leaving in time. The other one was coming. You know, it was a little stressful.
Probably
I never
ran
did
into
it
each other in
again.
the hallway.
Honestly, I only did what I did back in 2015 because I was a heartbroken bitch.
It do things to you.
Understandable. Okay, well, the next question we have, this one's a bit more serious. I've been in a long-distance relationship for about 1 year now with my girlfriend. I live in New York and she lives in Texas. We are both graduated now, but she hasn't made a concrete decision to move to New York yet, even though we have been talking about it for the past few months. I love her, but is the distance worth it?
Let me answer
Wait.
this question because I have been in this situation
I feel
before.
like I know who this is.
I
Do you really?
Oh, do you really know who this person
This is a
who
very
is?
similar situation. Someone. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I have been in this situation before because with my last ex, he had been saying that he'd want to move to California with me, and he'd never like take the initiative to do that, even though we'd talk about it. And so yeah, fuck long distance, dude. Like just fucking break up with her.
All right,
I feel like
I have a totally different idea on that. What the fuck?
I'm just saying that because I'm fucking bitter and I don't believe in long distance.
bitter as
So,
I mean,
sorry. That is my answer.
if you like love her, I mean, honestly, it depends on you because we don't know your relationship, but like, I feel like you should do what you feel is right for you. Like, don't dictate your life choices based on your relationship because I've had
This is true.
so many people where they've like went to a college for their
That
boyfriend,
was
went
me.
to like a different state, like did all this stuff for them and they end up breaking up. And it's like, what? You're just going to resent them for the rest of your life, you know?
Yeah, so you want her to move when she's ready. Like, even though you guys have been talking for a few months, like, it's a huge thing to go from Texas to New York. Like, totally different world. And, like, when she's ready, she'll do it. But, like, you guys have already been doing long distance for a year. Like, what's changed?
The thing is, though, is like when you are in long distance, though, it's like, why are you still in that relationship if, like, you know, one of you guys is waiting for the other person, basically? It's like kind of like a time, like a countdown somewhat. You know, it's like, when are we going to actually be physically together again? And if she isn't reciprocating that same excitement to like go see him, then that's like a whole different story. You know, it's like, why aren't you trying to put in the effort to like, you know, like look at places with me or like find a job over here? So it's like, what's gonna happen? Like, you guys have to both talk about the future. But if you guys talk about the future but don't put in that effort to make it happen, then I just personally don't think it's worth it, because then you're just wasting each other's time. You're just going to keep making the other person wait. So I guess it just really does depend on the situation, regardless of my bitterness towards long distance relationships. But also, we have one last question. How do I get my boyfriend to stop juuling? I'm sorry, but once you're addicted to the jewel, it's just honestly fucking impossible for them to quit.
Yeah.
Coming from 3 jewelers.
I don't have one, but I will smoke one.
But
Jewel ASMR.
what my best friend, she does not like how her boyfriend smokes cigarettes. So she said that every time he has a cigarette, he has to wait 2 or 3 hours before touching her or kissing her. And that's how she controls him. And so he's literally, they live together too, so he's kind of like tortured. It's like, you know, she's conditioning him. into where he does not get any physical touch from her if he smokes a cigarette. So maybe you should try that on him, you know?
I feel like it's a little harder with the Juul.
Because it doesn't
So
smell or
accessible.
anything. Like, I have a physical issue with, like, cigarette smells. Like, if a guy smells like that, it bothers me. I wouldn't want to make out with someone who just smoked a cigarette.
But I think you should just be honest with him and tell him that it's bothering you.
Yeah.
And, you know, if his addiction is just way too much for you to handle, then I say drop him, sis.
Honestly, just hide the charger. Just
Oh
hide
my
the
God.
Juul
Hide
charger.
Just, it's all about communication. Like, talk it out. Tell him why you're uncomfortable with it. And, you know, like, and see where that goes. Like, if he thinks that smoking a Juul is, you know, worth it over, like, you know, giving up your relationship, then that says something.
Or, girl, you could try to hit it yourself and see what it's all about.
See what you're missing out on, girl.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
I give the
Don't
worst
promote
advice.
that.
Yeah. Don't get a
Nicotine-free life.
nicotine
I give
addiction.
the worst
Dare.
advice.
Dare.
Dare didn't do shit for no one.
Nope.
And on that note, that concludes our 3rd episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. I think this will be our last video podcast. So the rest of our podcasts will be on iTunes and Spotify. And we're going to be doing a lot more different content on this channel, on our YouTube channel. But we're going to have all of our podcasts on just Spotify and iTunes. So we hope you guys enjoyed our first 3 video episodes. Now we don't have to look cute anymore when we do our podcast.
Yeah.
So
We can look
But
like
you
trolls
can still see
now.
our faces when we do other shit.
exactly.
Yeah. Only when we look cute.
But don't forget to rate us on iTunes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Subscribe,
To
like,
our YouTube
comment.
channel. Please
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram at SMAD Show. And yeah. But thank you guys for being a loyal degenerate with us. We'll see you guys next week.
And to our parents,
Sorry, Mom and Dad.